Hey everybody, this is Craig from 9 Volt Games, and today we're going to talk about Silent Hill F. I'm not going to show you guys anything. I've kind of run into a dilemma here. All the good Silent Hills were like a decade old by the time I started my YouTube channel. Actually, Silent Hill The Room was only 6 years old. Wow, I'm old. This channel's old. The problem with that is every Silent Hill that I can talk about, I can spoil because they're old. You've had a chance to play them. This game, I'm going to say right out the gate, don't watch other people play it. There's a reason why I only shared, I think, one clip on here, maybe two, that were from the trailer anyways. They're just extended versions of things that you already saw in the trailer. Every single thing is a spoiler in this game, and I'm going to spoil one just because I got demonetized and then demonetized again on Instagram for making this joke. Silent Hill F is about a girl in 1960s Japan who takes pain relieving medication for her pain and headaches and spreads autism through her village. Depending what ending you get, that's not too far off. It's obviously not autism, but that joke got me demonetized, not because I made a joke about autism, which it wasn't about autism. That joke is about Donald Trump and RFK Jr. I got in trouble for promoting illegal drugs, and then I appealed it, and I was like, this is a screenshot from a video game, and then I got banned from messaging. I got banned from going live for an entire year over that post. My point is, don't take the red capsules. So I actually haven't looked up anything in the game so far because it's new. I beat the game. I started a new game plus. I went to go skip the opening cutscene and it said, hey, you have new cutscenes in here. Right, so I didn't skip them. There's actually two warnings about it. One that I saw lightly, and then there was one that my wife saw where it just put a big green emblem in the middle of the screen. It was like, you have new cutscenes. So your story doesn't change, but the way that the story is told changes when you go on your new game plus. I like that. It feels like the endings like carry more weight in this one. I'm going to use the pill example because I feel like everybody will. One of the things that determines your ending is what you use for healing items. I figured that one out by the time I got into the last hallway of my game. And then I looked that specific thing up, and it was 100% true. So I will say that I won't say what the ending is, but if you take all the pills that Shu gives you, like in the beginning in the box, and then you keep picking them up throughout the village and taking them because they're the quickest recovery. When you're walking backwards after a successful dodge, you can pop one of those and get back 15% of your life. It changes your ending, which I thought was pretty cool. In terms of combat, this is a very hard tiptoe dance. I'm already 3 minutes in. I barely talked about the game because I can't talk about the story. So I'm gonna have to do a much larger video, but I need to give people time to play it. The combat in this compared to all the other Silent Hills is like Dark Souls. It's not Dark Souls level difficulty. And if you do find it too difficult, like a reviewer online fighting the same boss for an hour that took me less than 10 minutes, these people get paid handsomely for that. Anyway, drop the difficulty down the story. If it's too hard, drop the difficulty down the story. Upgrade your character, and when you get on your new game plus, bump the difficulty up. It's not hard. It's a lot of dodging. And if you played any games within the last decade that have been popular, it's at least one of them has had a dodge feature. You know how to play this game. Two things that I had to humble myself about with this game is I didn't talk about this game a lot because I didn't want that stuff ruined for me on this channel. But one thing that I was in great fear of is that Silent Hill has always been a rural American town. Always. I know the game was made by Japanese people, but they placed the shit in America, right? Pretty ambiguous where it is. We all assume it's somewhere on the East Coast, very, very foresty. and then having it set in 1960s a Japanese village kind of made me feel like, is this another game like The Room, where they had a game set up and then they were like, fuck, we don't know if it's going to sell, let's attach the Silent Hill name to it. I was afraid of that, which is why I didn't hype it up so much. Like, I was really excited the game was coming out, but I didn't make a big deal about it. No event, no stream, no blah blah blah. I was wrong, right? So aside from the opener and the story being a little different, it's not that much different between the connection of like the original Resident Evils and then how Village was connected. You know what I mean? It's a reach. They're fighting the Universal monsters and all that shit. But Chris Redfield's still there, Umbrella's still there, blah blah blah. This game feels like it has more of a connection despite being so far away and not actually being in the town where the cult is, or the town where the ancient rituals were. Like, they're in another place completely and they have their own ritual. Pay attention to all the things that you pick up and read, because you'll see the parallels between this and Silent Hill. I mean, just the pills alone, the reliance on flowers in this game for medicine, not for you, just like I said, keep reading. Read everything that you find in there. There's so many parallels to Silent Hill. There's so many parallels to the red liquid that can protect you from what's spreading in Silent Hill 1 and 3. The white chrysanthemums, I can't say their name properly. From Silent Hill 2 with the whole revival, like, it's there. But the most Silent Hill part of this game, to me, is when you're going through the school. When your friends stay behind in the room that you can't go in. I mean, Silent Hill 2 you could, but that part reminded me of Silent Hill. But when you walk by, you could hear them talking shit, or at least one of them talking shit about you. Any time that you're going through there. So that felt like it. But it was walking through and going in the bathrooms, and I was like, this feels like Midwich Elementary. It felt like I was back in Silent Hill 1. Like, just the whole atmosphere. So they did a really great job of making it feel like a Silent Hill. And to me personally, this game is, I've said it on here, this is my number 2 Silent Hill. Right? I like the story. There are things about it that I wish would be fixed, which I'll talk about next, because I can't just like something through and through. There has to be something wrong with it. It felt like more of a Silent Hill game than, or at least the original 3, than any of the games that came after Silent Hill 3. I know I said I appreciate 4 now that we've gotten some shitty games, but now that we're getting back into the swing of good games, I still like 4. 4 is a good part of my collection. It's worth a lot of money. It's better than Homecoming and Downpour and Origins. But this game feels like what should have been Silent Hill 4. Because Silent Hill Room, they went and moved the location anyways. You're in South Ashford. So what would be the difference of changing location? This feels like the proper sequel we should have got. And the fact that it was made by an entirely different team, is amazing. So we're 2 for 2. I don't count Transmission or Ascension, whatever the fucking one. I knocked on the wood. Shoosh! Anyways, what did I not like about the game? There's 2 things. I only died once in combat. The other times I died, I got stuck while running. Even if I opened a map and I was going down a route, sometimes in the village it's really confusing on where you go, even though right now I remember that village now like the back of my hand. I can run right through it. But when I'm running from things, I can look at the map and I can go, all right, I need to go this, and I'll get hooked up on like the corner of a building, even though I clearly stopped it, and then the fog monster will get me and I die. The other thing that I didn't like about it is I didn't mind the combat. I got scared at first when they said your weapons will break, because I was like, fuck, this is Breath of the Wild, and I didn't like Breath of the Wild for that purpose. That was like my number 1 complaint. But you don't have to fight. That also helps to change your ending too, or at least sway your ending. It tells you straight away, no one to run, no one to fight. So I mean, after the first segment, and then eventually, like I'd say 75% of the way through the game, you become a beast, God mode fighter, anyways. So you don't have to really worry about your weapons. Like they're whatever. I got scared at first because I only found like 2 toolkits, and I was like, this kind of sucks, and they're just trying to make it so, pick your fights. Make sure you're being smart with your moves. Make sure you're smart with your weapons towards the enemy types, because some weapons are way better on some enemy types, and some you're just wasting your weapon. After all that, the inventory management, the only issue I had with it was all the extra shit that you can sell to the shrine or you can use as healing items. But you can go around, if you search thoroughly through the game, you can find things to extend your inventory. You can find money. I like the fact that you can equip items to your character, which are I don't know how to say it, orami, whatever, the plates, and I know I said it wrong, but it's the plates, and they can help boost the stat. I got 2 that fit together well right now. I like that you can upgrade your sanity, your health, and your stamina. So all good things. And it was kind of balanced all the way through. And the part I didn't like is that in the last 10% of the game, they had 2 unnecessary gauntlets of enemies. And you had to fight them. Some of them you had to fight just to break the seal away from the area so you could go to the next spot. And it felt out of place. And it felt like they used it to pad the content, like make the game longer. They didn't need to do that, because it was already at the point where I was like, this game can wrap up now. I know sometimes we play games and I know people get to that point. Every time we talk about Silent Hill, some creepy ass noise in my house, but whatever. So anyways, yes, the game's fantastic. I'm sorry I can't talk about the story. There's not a lot I can go into depth about. I'm telling you that if you are a Silent Hill fan, especially the 1 through 3 games, and you haven't got this game yet, get it. I'm going to give you all about a week before I start spoiling the game, because there's so much I want to talk about, but I am very adamant about this is an enjoyable experience. If you are a fan of Silent Hill, this is not the game you were waiting for, but this is the type of game that you were waiting for. And somebody else said that about the first 3 in one of my comments, and they said maybe it's nostalgia. This is the reason that this is so good, is that it will attach to your nostalgia for the original 3. My highest recommendation for this game is to switch off the English dubs and just put on English or whatever your language is subtitles. The voice acting is substantially better in Japanese, or because I don't know Japanese and I don't know the enunciations on words, I don't know if it's shitty voice acting. It just sounds like a dubbed movie. I mean, a subtitled movie to me. So go out, get it. 1 week, come back here. We're going to talk about endings. We're going to talk about what the enemies represent. We're going to talk about the story, because I love all of this, and it's 80% of what I love about this game and what boosted it so high for me. But thank you guys for watching. I hope everyone's enjoying it. Don't put any fucking spoilers in the comments for people. I will remove you completely.